Guys, it's coming another movie for you guys, and if you guys did not see my last video, this is going to be the first review for a new series entitled Own It, Never Falking, Seen It, and basically it is exactly as it sounds. You know, there are movies that I've owned over many years, that I've never, that I've bought, with the intention of watching them, but I've just never gotten around to it, and they've sat on my shelf for years and years, and this year I want to be able to end that. I want to be able to watch these movies, because I bought them. That's kind of the purpose of, buying movies, not just to stare at them. They're actually, to fit to actually watch them, and I decided to do that, and like I said, and if you guys also didn't know, most of this is going to be completely random. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, but for my first review, I actually decided to pick out the first one. I figured the first one I'd just pick out on my own because I wanted to pick it out. And it's a movie that I've wanted to see for quite a while now. And I'm actually happy that I waited to watch it when I did. And that is the 2013 romantic dramedy, The Spectacular Now. Now, this is a film that I remember when it was going to come out, I was really looking forward to. I really love these like indie sort of romantic films. It was a high school film, and it seemed like it was gonna be a very good movie overall. I didn't know too much about it, but I bought it because I heard really good things about it. Again, I bought it with the intention of watching it, and I never watched it till now. And as I said, I'm actually very happy that I watched this movie when I did because I really love this film overall. The Spectacular Now is an incredible film that is a great movie to watch, especially if you're in the stage that I am, where you're a senior in high school and you're kind of confused as to where you want to go after. This is definitely the kind of movie to watch, but let's get to the plot of Spectacular Now, because the plot of this movie is pretty great. Basically, we focus on this guy, Sutter, played by Miles Teller, and he is your typical, high school senior. He's going to a lot of parties, he's got this girlfriend who he's kind of only with because, well, he claims he's only with her because she's attractive, but she ends up breaking up with him, and she doesn't break up with him because because of some shallow reason. She breaks up with him because essentially he lacks direction, and that she just doesn't want to be with him anymore because he doesn't seem that concerned about the future, and that's something that really starts to affect him. He doesn't act like it's a big deal, but after a hard night of partying and after she breaks up with him, he ends up in this girl, Amy, who is the new girl next door. He ends up in her backyard, and they start to connect together. He realizes that Amy is kind of, she's very insecure, and she's very driven in terms of school, and he's kind of not, and they start to help each other because they're just going through a lot together, and that basically is the plot of The Spectacular Now overall. That's really all I'm going to say. But let's get to this movie, starting off with the cast. And that is definitely one of the things I will really compliment this film for, because not only are the two actors here great, but this movie has a fantastic cast. I mean, everyone really did a phenomenal job. There are a lot of actors in here that weren't as well known when this movie came out. Now they're very well known, and everyone, I think, really did a fantastic job here. Let's first talk about Miles Teller, because Miles Teller in this movie, this is back when everyone saw him as, oh, he's the kid in Project X, or oh, he's the kid in 21 and Over. They didn't really see him as a serious actor yet, but after this movie, that was really when people started to say, okay, that kid's gonna do something great, and he is fantastic in this film. I love the character of Sutter. Not just because at first glance, I mean, this is, like I said, your typical high school senior. He's very confident, he's very fun, he likes to go to parties, he's kind of wild, he's got a lot of friends, he's in a very good position in school. However, outside of school, he really does lack direction, and he really doesn't want to talk about the future. He doesn't seem to be interested in careers. He ends up getting fired from his job in the beginning of the movie. I mean, he really doesn't seem to have, much of an idea of where to go after. He's in that in-between stage, and that's something I thought was very relatable to his character. I'm not saying that I completely lack direction, but I'm definitely at the point in my life where, holy shit, I'm going to be graduating in a few months, and it's kind of scary, because you got to do this on your own, and you really have to decide what you want to do for yourself, and that's kind of what Sutter is kind of going through in this film. There are a lot of things that he just isn't ready to do, and he's really not ready to put himself out there and to further explore his surroundings. And I really did love his character. He really did a great job. I thought that he was very fun, but also very insightful. He really took his performance quite seriously. Unlike other roles, like I said, this was really the first serious performance he did. He really did a great job here. I really loved his performance as a whole, and I think he definitely is the thing that makes this movie, because this is in every way Sutter's film. While Shailene Woodley is still a big part of it, this is definitely his film, and I think he definitely anchored it quite well. And especially if you're going through, kind of the transition that he is, especially if you're a senior in high school, this is definitely a very relatable role. While I can't relate to his personal family life because of what he's going through, which I'm not going to spoil what he's going through because it is kind of a spoiler on what his family life is like, I can't really relate to that side of it. The whole side of him lacking direction, I can definitely relate to, and that was something that I thought was definitely very well executed in this film. And then Shailene Woodley as Amy, of course, is fantastic. I've really never seen Shailene Woodley give a bad performance. She does such a good job, especially in these roles. I've talked about this on Big Little Lies and other stuff. She does a great job at playing these normal type characters. And that's exactly what Amy is. Amy is very, very normal, but she's also very innocent and just very quiet. Like, a lot of people don't know a ton about Amy. She hasn't really had a boyfriend. She's focused a lot on her studies. Her mom is, she constantly has to take care of her mom, and the way these two really help each other and rely on each other is honestly quite sweet. And it starts off as a friendship and obviously blossoms into something more, but their chemistry, it's very relatable. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel like, oh, we're just trying to get these two together. You can understand why these two would fall in love. You can understand why these two need each other, why they really need to, help out each other, what they really bring out of each other. And I really did love about the film. Their chemistry is definitely one of the most important components of this entire film, and they really do nail it, especially for two actors who I don't think worked together before this. I think this was definitely before Divergent. They did an incredible job here. I loved their chemistry. I really did love both their characters, and like I said, some of the best scenes in the film are just these two interacting. They did a really great job together, and I think their acting as a whole, both of them, were very, very strong. And then as far as other performances go, I think everyone else was also really great. There's a lot of really great actors in here. Brie Larson plays Sutter's ex-girlfriend, Cassidy, and I really liked her character because Cassidy, you think in the beginning of the film, is just kind of some shallow girl, but she's really not that at all. She has a genuine reason for breaking up with him. Like I said, she really does have a good idea of where she wants to go in life, and she doesn't feel like he takes it as seriously as he should. So she breaks up with him for that reason, and they did a very good job of doing that. They could have easily categorized her as, just a bitchy, shallow girl and make Amy that girl, but they don't do that. They choose to make her real, and it just makes her feel like more of a real character and make her feel more important to the story. And their whole relationship was definitely interesting because Sutter is trying to kind of course correct what he did with Amy, and he tries to get with Cassidy, and just it isn't really working anymore. They're in a very weird stage where are they friends? What exactly are they? And I thought that whole thing that they're going through was also very interesting. I really liked her in the film. I think Brie Larson definitely did a good job. Like I said, this was before Brie Larson really was a big deal. I think it really was until Short Term 12 when people are like, oh, this girl's going to be, a really good actress, but she did a really great job here. I really liked her performance. She definitely was very good. I also really like Jennifer Jason Leigh here. Jennifer Jason Leigh plays Sutter's mom, and Sutter's mom is a little bit different from your typical high school mom. She doesn't seem that concerned about her son. She's not really that appreciative. There's something off about her. You don't exactly know what it is, but she did a very good job at humanizing this role. It kind of reminded me of Kira Sedgwick in The Edge of 17. You got a mom who's a little bit atypical from your typical high school mom. She doesn't have the same sort of mannerisms, things like that. She just doesn't seem like she's that appreciative of her son, and she did a very good job. I really liked her role here. I thought she definitely did a very good job in this movie, and Jennifer Jason Leigh, again, great actress. And then Mary Liz, the only other actor to really talk about, because I can't really talk about anyone else, or I'm going to get into spoilers. I also really liked his friend, who played, I really like the guy who played Miles. I can't think of his name right now, but he also did a very good job. I thought he definitely was quite good in the film. He likes Cassidy, and he wants to be with her, and I thought he was definitely very good. But I also really liked Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Sutter's sister, and we don't see a ton of her in the film, but you can see that she's quite confident, and she really, wants her brother to have that direction. I thought she definitely did do a very good job. Really, everyone in this film, I don't think there was a single bad performance here. I think everyone really did a fantastic job. I think everyone really stood out. And even smaller roles like Sutter's boss or Sutter's teacher still left some kind of an impact on me. And with a movie like this, that's very important. And I think they definitely did a very good job casting everyone. So like I said, the acting here is pretty great, but let's get to the directing here. The directing here is by James Ponsoldt. I don't think I've heard of this director before. He did the end of the tour, and he's going to be doing The Circle, and he's a really good director. He really knows how to direct dialogue-driven films, and he did a very good job with directing this film, because at first glance, like I said, this feels like you think you know where this movie's going to go. The movie starts off, you think you know exactly where it's going to go, and it doesn't really go in that direction, and honestly, I really would not consider this movie a comedy. It said it's a comedy drama, but there's not really a ton of moments of comedy. There's moments of fun, definitely, because it's a high school film, but it definitely is more of a serious drama, and that's something I really liked, is that he, for the most part, took this very seriously. If someone were to be in Sutter's situation, I'm pretty sure the way the movie, portrayed it is the way that it would go, and that was something I definitely really did appreciate about this film, is the way that he decided to portray it. I think definitely you could have easily made this very soapy and very cheesy, and I like that he, it was very grounded and very much, it just felt very realistic, and it felt very much, like I said, it didn't feel watered down. It felt like they were definitely took chances. They didn't try to hold anything back, and that was something I really did love about the directing. The screenplay here, though, I really did get into the story, because I wouldn't really consider this a romance movie, honestly. I mean, definitely part of it is a romance movie. It's definitely one of the big parts of it. But it's less of them falling in love with each other and more of them inspiring each other, and the way that they decide to help each other make choices that they've kind of been scared to do their entire life. There's a lot of things that Sutter has going on in his life that he really isn't told anyone about, even someone like Cassidy, and that's something he really confides in Amy with, and she really helps him with that. But there are things that Amy's also gone through that she really has been afraid to do, and Sutter helps her go through that as well. So I really did like the way the two helped out each other. I thought that was definitely very well handled. This screenplay was definitely very good here, and the story in general, I just thought the story was very interesting. Like I said, they got this kid who's lacking direction, and that happens with a lot of people. You get out of high school and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do now? What's my life? You got to start all over again, and it's definitely scary. Definitely, like I said, I'm someone who I am a senior, and I'm gonna be graduating high school in 3 months, and it's kind of scary. I mean, it's going by really fast, and even though I know where I'm going for the next few years, it still is definitely, I'm still in that in-between stage where what do I really want to do? And it's not so much the idea that he doesn't have direction, it's just he doesn't really want to think about it, because it's just that much easier to focus on the now, when in reality you need to be focusing, well, at least the stage you are in life, you need to be focusing on the future, and that's something that Sutter just isn't really willing to do. And that's something I really like about his character. His outlook on life is very fascinating, and I think that's something that really does make his character different from what he could have been. He could have easily just been the archetype main character, and they didn't make him that at all. They made him actually quite optimistic, and I really liked about his character. And Amy as well, her outlook on life is also very interesting. I think, just like I said, some of the best scenes in this movie are just these two interacting with each other, knowing their likes and dislikes, seeing, what their future holds, seeing what they want to do in life. It's very fascinating to watch. They did a very good job with that, and they really do take their time with the story. Even though the movie is quite short, they really did take their time with it. It takes them maybe an hour to actually fully fall in love, and I really did like that. I like the movie really did take their time. I like that the movie, it didn't try to just make this, a cheesy romance film. It's so much more than that, and I thought the screenplay was very well handled there. I thought there was a lot of really good stuff, especially stuff that happens in the third act. The third act really is when I think most of the big story stuff happens, and it's pretty crazy. Like, it all kind of happens at once, but that's also the way that life is. Like, something happens, it all just kind of happens at once, and I think they handled that very well with the screenplay. The cinematography is also great here. You definitely got the sense of, you know, it's the end of the year. It very much feels like summer. Also, I forgot to say, the writers of this movie are the writers of 500 Days of Summer, and you definitely do get a bit of that vibe from this film. Now, while this doesn't exactly turn out in the way 500 Days of Summer does, because 500 Days of Summer, you already knew they broke up. This one, you're not sure if they're going to get together or not. I did definitely get a, you know, it definitely did feel as real as something like 500 Days of Summer, and I think they did a good job with that. The score here also was really good. Don't really have much to say about the score. And then the editing, like I said, this movie's only 95 minutes long, and it flew by. I was into it the whole time. There really was not one scene that I felt should have been cut out. My only real complaint with the film is, like I said, the third act, just so much is happening at once, and sometimes it did feel a bit overwhelming. Like, I definitely was like, all right, can we just have one scene where something crazy is not happening? And it kind of always happens at once, but again, like I said, the movie a lot feels like life. Like, it feels like it understands how life works, that certain things happen, you know, all at once, and that's kind of how senior year is, where suddenly, you know, at one point you're like, all right, so this is kind of just a whatever year, you know, it's very slow, and then all of a sudden, oh, it's prom, then, oh, it's graduation, and oh, I'm leaving high school. I mean, it's just, it all kind of happens at once. That's something this movie definitely understands quite well, and I really did love the way the movie did portray that. I thought that was definitely very well handled, and I guess you know these two are going to get together, like, the second they see each other. You definitely know that's going to happen, but other than that, though, I really did not find many flaws in this film. I really did love the Spectacular Now as a whole. I think it's a very well done film. It's a movie that I don't think enough people have seen. Really, if you have not seen this movie, definitely check it out. I definitely think it is definitely worth recommendation. It is the perfect way to kick off this series, and I'm definitely going to give the Spectacular Now a 4.75 out of 5, or an A. So over, guys, my review of The Spectacular Now. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie overall. Loved your thoughts on it. This is definitely a film, like I said, that if you are in your senior year of high school, you need to watch this movie. It definitely is a must. I honestly recommend this to anyone who's in senior year, even if you're a junior and you're kind of afraid about the future. Anyone who's worried about the future or just wants to live in the now, you need to watch this movie. It's going to change your outlook on things. It's really going to make you see what ends up happening, and I think they handled that quite well here. But now, guys, comes to the portion of the review where we're going to take a look at what the next movie I'm going to be reviewing is. So just to give you guys an idea of how this is going to work, basically, as I said, I put all of the films I'm going to be reviewing into randomizer.org. I will be reviewing this pretty much every review, and this is how the every review is going to go. At the end, you will see I will go to randomizer.org, I will press randomize, and I will pick the next movie I'm reviewing, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So here are all the films that I'm going to be reviewing if you guys just want to look, if you're interested, and here we go. I'm going to press randomize, just random, here we go. I'm just going to press it. And it looks like the next movie I'm going to be reviewing, it says Live Free or Die Hard. I'm going to hold off on that because, as I said, franchise films, I just don't want to do a franchise right now. But it looks like the next movie I'm reviewing is The Fisher King. Yes, The Fisher King from the 90s. This is a film I've wanted to see for a while, so look forward to that. So definitely look forward to that, guys. I will try to get that review out. If not today, definitely tomorrow. I will be rewatching The Fisher King, which is cool because I've wanted to watch the movie for quite some time now, and finally I'm going to get to sit down and I'm going to watch it. So definitely look forward to that in the next couple days. But that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of this new review format. Do you like the way I'm doing this? Have you seen The Spectacular Now? If you have, what did you think of it? Don't give me any thoughts about The Fisher King. I don't really want to know much about it. I've heard great things about it, but I don't want to know anything more than I already do. And my next video will probably be for either Empire or the originals. I'm not sure which one, but I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.